Welcome to another week-ending show in Project 70, and I have to say, Topps gave me exactly what I was looking for over the past 2 days of releases. And of course, this is going to be the giveaway card. I'm really curious how well this card's gonna sell. I cannot wait to see what releases on Thursday and Friday, and hopefully after 2 days of seeing older artists, I want to see some new blood. I hope we see 6 newer artists on Thursday and Friday in Project 70. Now, if only everything I said on the show about the set came true, we would be a lot better off. Actually, probably not. The surprise and the suspense makes this set worth it every single day of the week. Welcome to episode number 15. My name is Chris, otherwise on Twitter, and Instagram is at CRT_sportscards. And my website, crtsportscards.com, is where you want to go for everything related to not only Project 70, but also Project 2020. On Sunday morning on the website, I will be releasing my third straight update of live pricing for Project 70 cards. So if you're interested in the foil pricing and the base card pricing, be on the website in the morning as I'll have pricing updated for you. But let's bring the focus back to Friday in Project 70. We need to recap the cards that released on Thursday and Friday. I also need to remind you, if you've not watched the Wednesday episode, there is that Craig Biggio by Fucci contest for guessing the print run. So if you've not watched that episode, go back after this video, watch the episode, and put your print run guess in the comments below. I'm challenging everyone, can we get to 300 guesses on that contest? I'm also going to announce another free card giveaway tonight at the end of the episode, and that'll mark the 12th free card given away in the set. So at this moment, that is 17% of the set. I'm not even sure I own 17% of the set, personally speaking, but I can't wait to give away another free card tonight. And I also need to congratulate the winner of the Ronald Acuna Blake Jameson from the Monday show. Congrats to John055NBA. His print run guess was the closest. Of course, that Jameson came in 6,111, and John did 6,100. So congrats, John, on that win, and he becomes our first international winner in this contest. And so while that Acuna by Jameson did post an incredibly high number, when you think about the average right now in the set, that card right now is 2.5K over the second best card of the week. And now look, we've only seen 6 of the 15 print runs so far, and it's going to be a couple of days till we see all 15. Coming in second here, and not really a surprise at all, Ermsey with his Raleigh Fingers just under 3.7K. And again, we know Ermsey can move product, and Raleigh Fingers was a brand new player in the set, so good to see a new player with a familiar artist sell some product. Coming in third right now, here again, not really a surprise. We have Gregory Siff with his Aaron Judge. The New York market is not to be touched. If you put a Yankee card out, it's going to sell. Unless maybe it's a Mariano card. Those at times do not sell very well, but I think if you put out a big name player right now, it's going to sell. But I think the biggest surprise to some, and something that I said on the show on Monday, which is going to happen, and it did, is people were print run hunting with that distorted card. And its print run came in at 3,386, just 90 cards behind that Aaron Judge by Gregory Siff, 3,476. Also, it was 800 cards more than the Weatherspoon Ripken, and about 600 more than that Strawberry. And that right there is what makes print run hunting at the beginning, when the card can be bought on the Topps.com website, very, very difficult, because if everybody decides to buy a card at the same time, look what happens. We end up with a rather high distorted print run. And if you really want to go back to last year, look at what happened in May and in June, when we all thought we were going to make millions of dollars by buying these cards on the Topps website. We ended up with cards in the 40 and the 50 and the 99,000 range that are worth now maybe less than the snap case the card is in. But that is why we play the game. But what is a lot more fun when it comes to Project 70, and look, the print runs are fun to talk about, but they really don't mean anything at the end of the day, because what matters is about your personal discovery with the artist, because we are getting such a wide range of artists here and of artwork, and there's going to be a lot of things that we see in this set and go, man, that's not me, or you're also going to go, wow, this is me. And when you start to see artist's second cards, that is when we start to say wow. And that happened for me on Thursday with an artist. And the great thing and the reason why I wanted to see so many new artists over Thursday and Friday is because this is when we start to recognize which artists we like. One card is a tease, two card is a trend, and when we start getting into trends, that's when it becomes positive for us as collectors in the set. And now working through the Thursday cards, really in no particular order, but first up we have what I feel, and this is just by me reading the tea leaves on social media, Facebook and Instagram, probably one of the fan favorite artists at this moment. We had Chuck Styles release his Mike Trout, and that follows up his first release of Hank Aaron. And when you think about Mike Trout, this is his second card in the set. This card will give that Blake Jameson, Ronald Acuna a run for its money. I think we're going to see a number higher than that because his Fucci release, in my opinion, was actually very low when you think about the results of Trout last year in Project 2020. Now, second up on Thursday, we have Futura releasing his second card in the set, which is Hank Aaron, and that follows up his Jackie Robinson, which was actually card number 42, and I missed that fact in the moment when that card was released. And you know my fandom of the number 3, and what it looks like right now on Futura's card is when you look at a background, you got 3 different backgrounds, so it's a very distinct look to the card. I'm not sold just yet on this card from me collecting it because the next artist is the card that I am really sold on at the moment. And this is why I talk about personal discovery being so important in Project 70. When New York Nico released his very first card, which was this Derek Jeter, I said, I do not know why it is yellow, but we're going to find out in his second and his third card, and I cannot wait to see what comes out in the future. And here we are with 1960, the very first 1960 Topps card in the set with Gleyber Torres. And on a personal note, this is probably the closest I'll ever come to being in this set with the same last name as Gleyber. So that was a really cool thing to see him in the set. But when you go back to the Derek Jeter, that card was inspired by the grit of New York. And here we are, this Torres is designed and inspired by his girlfriend. And when you look at the pink skyline of New York City, something about it for me just works. So when you see a card at first that you may not understand or like, keep an open mind. And look, this set, I should not be a buyer at all in the set. This is going to be a New York themed set. I am living in Seattle. We have opposite fans, opposite teams, opposite championships, unfortunately. There is nothing about this set at the beginning that said I was going to collect it. But now seeing the work of Naomi, seeing the work of New York Nico with the Torres and the Jeter, the pink skyline, something about it just works. So keep an open mind because you never know when an artist releases their second or their third card and you go, wow, that actually works for me. And now as we close out week number 5 in Project 70, I have to obviously listen to my own words and keep an open mind of these artists because these are 3 artists which I'm not sold on just yet, and I may never be sold on them, but I'm keeping an open mind on their artwork. And we also get our first AL Central team as Pose releases Alkaline, the very first Detroit Tiger in the set. And of course, Pose's first card was Ricky Henderson. And when you take a look at these cards, what is the first thing that you notice? You're going to get 2 Poses on these cards. You got Ricky both ways, and you got Alkaline both ways. And I really, really wanted to give away the AL Central the first time there was a card out for free, but I gave away the Ricky Henderson last time, so I'm going to pass on giving away this card just because I don't want to give away a double artist just yet in the set. And so while Pose is going to give us a very distinct looking card over the next 18 releases, the second artist up today, and unfortunately there is no shoe giveaway this time, but the Shoe Surgeon releases his second card, Walker Bueller, and Walker Bueller is of course the Heat. There was a very, very distinct heat map over Walker Bueller in the card, and of course his very first card in the set was Ken Griffey Jr. This is another artist that has a tremendous influence with the shoe market, something I know very, very little about, but I'm very intrigued to see the results that come from this card. Look, Walker Bueller is not necessarily, I guess in my mind, an A or tier A player. For some he is, for Dodger fans he might be. Maybe this is a high tier B player, but I'm really curious how well this card will sell, because if there's one thing we know about the shoe world, they are some passionate fans, and if they get behind this card, as I talked about on Wednesday, a little bit of a spark can create a massive fire, and that could be an extreme positive for the set as we move through week number 6. And then finishing the week up for us is going to be Undefeated. And Undefeated is something that you will do all year long in the set if you keep an open mind around all 51 artists in the set. Undefeated here releases his second of 3 cards in his 3 times dope sub-series of his 18 card set here. We have Ken Griffey Jr. following up his Willie Mays from a few weeks back. Look, I am a Mariners fan. Everyone knows that. I am not necessarily a Griffey fan. I don't have any real connections to him, but I really want to see his third card. I want to see how this Mookie Betts comes together. And since I was not a buyer of Willie Mays, and since I'm not going to be a buyer of this Ken Griffey Jr., but I want to get people into Undefeated, I'm going to give this card away right now. How high or how low will this card sell? Leave your print run guess below in the comments. The person closest to the print run without going over will win this card free for me. The only stipulation is this: you have to be subscribed to the channel. So if you're not subscribed, hit that button below also before you leave that print run guess. And so while week number 5 in Project 70 will probably go down as the most successful week in the set so far, on Monday we have what I feel is probably right now the most emotional card coming out. We have Lauren Taylor releasing her Lou Gehrig, and she put out about a 30-second cut video about this card on Twitter today. I highly recommend you check that out. And she also sent me something in the mail that I will show off on Monday that I was extremely excited to open today in the mail. With that, have a fantastic weekend. Buy the cards you want. Keep an open mind as we go into week number 6. And I will see you back on Monday night for episode number 16 of the Project 70 show.